welcome to Psychocinema Therapy Dream Academy. My name is Dwayne Walker, and I just recently published a book, an e-workbook, which is available on Amazon.com, called the Dream Academy Workbook. And it's a compilation of my course that I had here on YouTube, which, although it is still there, this book contains more. It contains essays, articles, it contains links to various enticing videos that can help show you more about what's happening out there in the world of your dreams and interpreting your dreams. And one thing I'd like to start doing is reviewing apps for dream interpretations. And here's my thinking. My problem with dream interpretation and the people who practice it is it seems to either be leaning a little bit more towards supernaturalism, or it lends itself basically to forming a cult. Like, for instance, let's say if you have a woman who has a dream where she's walking through a decrepit old building and she's going through a decrepit library filled with all sorts of old books, and then in the middle of all those books she sees a young baby looking at her who looks up and says, "Why did you do this to me?" Well, someone of a more supernatural bent might look at such a dream and say, "Oh, well, the library is all of man's learning that you've pursued all your life, and that baby, well, you're supposed to be a mother and you need to get busy making babies, and this is where all the knowledge seeking in the world has ultimately got you." But then again, if you're looking at it from a non-supernatural basis, you might say that the baby who's looking up saying, "Why did you do this to me?" Well, maybe that is her. Maybe she is looking at herself while she was younger, and it might be a turning point for her to start investing in knowledge and in education to help better herself. So in fact, when I think about some of the most major dreams that I've had in life that I actually remember decades later, they usually came during a moment of great transition in my life. Anyway, I can understand the need to bounce the interpretation of dreams off on other people simply because, you don't want to be basically being your own audience, and you basically don't want to be sugarcoating anything. And it's real easy for us to sugarcoat interpretations for ourselves. And in that sense, that's why I'm thinking some of these apps, which key into AI, might be interesting, a way of getting a nice third-person approach without feeling that you're about to be ripped off by some charlatan, or you're going to be attempted to suck up into their cults. So anyway, last week I had a dream which I didn't really think much of. It just seemed like kind of a nice, cute little throwaway dream. But I decided that I would enter it in this app, and the name of this app is called Dreamseer, the Dreamseer app, and it is produced by a company in Sweden, I believe also called Dreamseer. And this is what I had asked them. So this was last Monday. I dreamed I was watching people I know filming an episode of a brand new Superman TV series. One scene called for a partner at work to crash an exotic sports car into a telephone pole. He did and emerged in good health. Later, he and everyone at the shoot bragged about what they were being paid. They were only being paid $100. Well, I woke up from that dream and I was thinking, well, first of all, the Superman thing's easy. Everybody's talking about Superman. That's a new movie that's out. So, okay, I can see how Superman made its way into this dream. As far as the car, well, I do work in auto insurance, evaluating claims and things like that. Every day I'm talking to people who have crashed their cars. Somehow they managed to walk out alive. Sometimes even better, maybe they got a nice settlement out of all that. That's where I figured the sources of those dreams came from. Now, to attach any meaning to it, though, was kind of beyond me, because it just seemed like the kind of dream that you'd have after, having a bad sandwich, maybe. But I took it to Dreamseeker, and here's what Dreamseeker said. This dream suggests that you may be observing others taking bold actions or risks in their lives, while you remain in a more detached or watchful role. The exotic sports car crash, with your colleague emerging unscathed, can symbolize a concern or curiosity about the consequences of such risks, and the ease with which others seem to handle challenges. The fact that everyone brags about receiving a modest payment may reflect your thoughts on recognitions, reward, or the value placed on effort around you. There may be a feeling of being an outsider looking in and wondering what it would be like to participate more directly and considering what is truly valuable or rewarding in your endeavors. Okay, now that tied together in some interesting meaning there. And yes, I have taken risks, and some of the times the risk has paid off tremendously great, and other times the risks have not been that great. Kind of makes you wonder why you should take any risks at all. But what I really liked about the Dreamseer app is it didn't stop at the interpretation. It started to converse with you about your dreams. Listen to some of these conversations that came up. He responded, "That's quite a vivid dream, seer. It sounds like you are observing a scene unfold rather than directly participating. Does the role of observer resonate with how you've been feeling lately? Also, what does risk-taking mean to you in your current life?" And I responded, "Observer, yes. Risk-taking scary but necessary." To which the Dreamseer responded, "Scary but necessary. I hear you. The car crash then, could that represent a fear of the potential crash if you take a risk? And what about your colleagues walking away unharmed? Does that suggest a belief that some people are simply more resilient or lucky when it comes to taking risks?" To which I responded, "Yes, I have taken risks that paid off and risks that were devastating, but I know I shouldn't give up." And then it responded, "It sounds like you've learned some valuable lessons from both type of experiences. Given that, how did you feel in a dream when everyone was bragging about the $100 payment? Did it seem like a fair reward, or did it feel like something else entirely?" And my response to that was, it sounded like it wasn't worth it in the real world. In the dream world, yes, you could see the symbolism that the value in an experience can sometimes be non-monetary. "But I still need money anyway." To which the Dreamseer responded, "That's insightful, seer. The dream seems to be highlighting a contrast between practical needs and the intrinsic value of experience. Does the $100 then represent a basic need being met, allowing for the real value of the experience to be recognized? How does this recognition of value experience feel to you?" To which I responded, "Yes, it would be easier to just accept things. I still need to take measured risks to make money on my own without being dependent on conventional employment." And then, of course, it gets to the point where it wants to offer a little bit of advice. "It sounds like you're at a crossroads, yearning for independence, but aware of the risks involved. The measured risks you speak of, do you have a clear vision of what those look like, or is it something that you're still exploring?" To which I responded, "Always exploring, but not a clear vision yet, and I probably won't have a clear vision, though, without the act of exploring." I really do like the way this Dreamseer engages with you because, again, dreams mean different things to different people. What started out as maybe a throwaway dream that might have been the result of, a bad diet, suddenly turned to an interesting meditation on the subject of risks and the necessity of taking risks with the wisdom of being able to accept things as they are with the knowledge that that's not really the way you can handle life in the country. So I do appreciate the inner dialogue that was sparked by my experience with the Dreamseer app. I would recommend check out my book on Amazon, Psychocinema Therapy Dream Academy Workbook, where film theory and dream interpretation meet. So check it out, and also check out some of my movie reviews. And as I make these movie reviews that are not just reviews of thumbs up, thumbs down, should you go see this movie or not, but also, what do these movies say about us as a country, as a people? And what do they say about you as an individual? So thanks for watching, and if you want to see more, please be sure to click like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.